Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and today we're covering the Mythic Event for the Emperor's Demise, and we're going to cover Tier 3 of the event. This is brand new, the first time the Emperor's Demise is getting a Mythic Event. A lot of people have had Palpatine for a long time, and now is your chance. If you haven't seen this event in a long time because you've had him at 7 stars, now you get to go and do the Mythic tier of the event. And as in the previous Mythic reworks of these events, there are 3 tiers. Tier 1 is basically a replay of the 7th star mission. So you use the same team that you used to get the Emperor to 7 stars. It's the same battle. If you did it once and it was probably a while ago, you can do it again, except this time you get some really cool rewards. You can get 5 tenacity mods, and then once you complete that, you go on to tier 2. You don't have to do them in order, but if you do tier 2, it's the same fight as tier 1, but you can use anyone in your entire roster. So that's even easier because you're not restricted to Rebel. So if you can beat tier 1, you can beat tier 2 because you could just use the same team. Again, though, you can get tier 5 mods, and I can tell you I ran the tier 2 before I started recording this. I figured I wasn't going to put that one in the video. It was a little too easy. I got a 15 speed diamond mod, so that's definitely going as a replacement to my arena squad. I was really pumped about that. But the star of the show is tier 3. You need to basically do the reverse of the 7-star battle. Instead of using Rebels to get the Emperor, you now use Empire to battle a really difficult Rebel team, and it's tough. So you're restricted to Empire. You can see the possible rewards here. You get 500,000 credits for your first time for completing the event. You get the 5 mods again, and I did get 2 5 mods for the tier 2 completion. For tier 1 I only got 1. For tier 2 I got 2. So I don't know how many you can get for tier 3, but it's probably at least 2. And then you can also get gear 12 gear, and I think that might also be limited to, oh, actually it looks like it's not limited to your first time. There's just a chance you'll get some gear 12 gear. So great rewards. The reward is high, but the price is high as well, because the battle is very difficult, as you'll see here in a minute. So when we go to the squad, I don't have too many options here available. You need to have the 7-star Emperor, of course, in order to qualify for the Mythic tier event, and he's locked out of being your leader. I'm guessing if he was allowed to be the leader, it would be too easy. So they put him in a non-lead spot. I'll do a quick run through of the team. I'm actually going to switch out and go with a Tarkin, with a Grand Admiral Thrawn lead. Tarkin is supposed to be good for this event, but mine, you can see, is not very well geared. So we're going to go with this team. Grand Admiral Thrawn lead. He is well geared. He's on my arena team. If you have him, I suggest you gear him. He probably is already geared. He's got the best capital ship. He's good in so many aspects of the game. He is at gear 11 for me, and I'll just go to the speed stat so you can see 237. He has a nice secondary speed addition being added to him. Then we've got Darth Vader, and I moved some mods over to him. I do have his lead Zetaed, but that doesn't matter for this because he's not running my leadership. I do not have his new unique Zetaed. You can see his abilities there, and I gave him one of my arena mod sets as well, so he's running at 197 speed, and of course that's before he gets the buffed speed from his new rework. So he'll be going pretty fast. Then we have TIE Fighter Pilot, just a solid character. I had TIE Fighter Pilot geared up for the Rancor, for putting tenacity down, so I've been using TIE Fighter Pilot for that for a while before I got CLS. And so geared pretty well, also used in my fleet arena, and has one of my arena mod sets on as well. So 230 speed on TIE Fighter Pilot. And then we've got Royal Guard, who is there for the auto taunt, not pre-taunt, but auto taunt. If one of your characters gets to 50% health, Royal Guard's going to step in and put up taunt and take that damage, and can also stun on basic. Most likely, Royal Guard's not going to survive the first wave, as you'll see here. It's a brutal first strike that this Rebel team gets. Hopefully that goes to Royal Guard, everyone else stays alive, and then we can start the battle without losing any of our important characters. But there's a chance Royal Guard survives, and hey, if he can land a stun with his basic attack, all the better. So 180 speed here. I think I put my worst mods on Royal Guard from my arena set. Tried to buff his health and protection a little bit, so he's going to be fairly tanky, but not low gear level there, you can see. And then, of course, Emperor Palpatine himself. No Zetas on my Emperor, either the leadership or the unique. Gear 10, and I also moved one of my mod sets from my arena team over, so 223 speed, so not too bad for the Emperor. So here we go. We're going to get into the battle and see how this goes. I'm going to have the speed set low so I can talk through it, so you can see what happens here, because if not, you're just going to see 7 flashes of light from the opponent's side, and then probably 2 of my characters be dead. So here we go into the battle, and hopefully this works out on our first try. So we're going to quickly drop it down to 1. You can see that Chewbacca gets to taunt, then we get an attack from Leia, followed up with the rest of them here. They're going to all get to go before I get any turn. They get 100% turn meter, and Darth Vader's taken out on the first hit. So that is going to be a restart. So here we go. This is the successful run. And as always, the enemy team starts with 100% turn meter. Chewbacca attacks and doesn't taunt, which is great. We get an attack from Leia. Vader takes the stun. Noticeably, Han does not shoot twice in this, so he is not a Zeted Han. And then the big thing is Commander Luke attacks Royal Guard, who I did increase by 1 gear level to make him a little tankier, help him survive this first wave, and we're in pretty good shape here. No taunt, everybody survived, nobody's in too much trouble. So I decided to go for the stun on Commander Luke. I don't know if he has the Zeta here that would always let him resist. He gets like 100 tenacity when he doesn't have his buff. So maybe he has that, and that's a wasted effort. But I thought if I could stun Luke, I would be in great shape. Unfortunately, the stun resists, and now we're in trouble. Royal Guard got taken out. Vader got taken out. It's 3 on 6, and they're all in pretty good shape. Just half of their protection is gone. Emperor Palpatine goes with his AoE stun and lands 4 stuns. Huge. I use TIE Fighter Pilot then. Again, we have to attack Chewbacca right now because his taunt is up at this point. So we're trying to work his damage down. Now I have Thrawn, and this is one of the big decisions here. Do I fracture Chewbacca, or do I try and wait for it to fall off? Chewbacca's about to take his next turn, and if the taunt falls off, then we're in good shape. So instead, I decide to give the heal and the cleanse to Emperor Palpatine. Let him go with his stun, with his shock, his basic attack. Chewbacca does attack, loses taunt, and again exposes Commander Luke so that we can go at him with Fracture. Commander Luke is fractured. That's great. It's really important to get Luke under control. At any point, he can crit with his special and take out one of your characters. So I decided to use TIE Fighter Pilot to finish him off. I don't want Fracture to fall off. I've only got 3 characters, so they're going to be attacking quickly. And if Thrawn goes and Fracture comes off Luke, Luke can counterattack. So I decided to take him out. Now, here at this point, I could try to take out Han Solo. I feel like that would be a pretty good move, but I don't think it's going to work with just the basic attack. I don't think that's enough firepower, and I'm worried about a counterattack from Han Solo. So instead, I decided to switch my target. I think about Leia for a second, and then I decide I'm going to go for it. Hopefully I get him, and I don't. But he's left on a sliver of health, and this is probably a mistake here. Palpatine is up. I could have eliminated Han for sure there with a basic. Instead, I think I'll get another shock, increase Palpatine's turn meter. Maybe he'll get to go next. He doesn't, and Han gets his revenge and takes out the Emperor. So that was clearly a mistake. If I could go back and do it again, I would have finished Han off. Palpatine would probably still be alive, and this would be in the bag. Instead, I then used Thrawn to take out Han. Probably another mistake because I had the AoE ready from TIE Fighter Pilot who was going next, and that would have taken out Han and the other 2 that were on low health anyway. So again, a couple of mistakes there. You can see I did not play this perfectly, but we end up getting in a 2-on-1. It's Grand Admiral Thrawn versus Biggs and Leia, and I decided to fracture Biggs because he can really increase his turn meter when he gets attacked by Empire, and I don't want to back and forth right now. I need every ounce of health I have. So I go for the fracture, then I go for the cleanse. Leia is a 1-hit at this point, and I decide to leave her up. I was hoping I could take Biggs out with my next hit. It didn't quite work, but he does get to go again. Thrawn does before Biggs, takes him out, survives Leia's basic attack, and as long as this hits its fracture, it's going to be enough. Wow. Thrawn on, what was that, 5% health, maybe 10% at most, ends up with his last attack, has Fracture available, takes out the last remaining character, Leia, on the enemy team, and we got there. That was insane. I did get one mod with a secondary speed. It did upgrade to +9, so a nice little mod that will go on somebody in my collection as an upgrade for sure. And more importantly, we got this done. What a crazy battle. All in all, that was probably about my 12th run, but I think it was only my second one once I upgraded Royal Guard to the next gear level. I think it was gear 9 that I ended up taking him to. It gave him 7,000 plus in terms of protection, and it just seemed like I was waiting too much for RNG to work out on that first wave of attacks to have everybody survive, have Royal Guard take some hits, not have any of my main characters either get taken out or on such low health that they were going to get taken out on the next AoE. Getting that little extra tankiness on Royal Guard really seemed to help out in terms of getting that down. So, a little bit of luck, a little bit of misplay on my part, but we still got there by the barest of margins, completed the tier, and wow, that was a lot of fun. Great event, tuned really well. I've been playing the game for just about a year now. This is just past my 1-year anniversary with the game, and I was able to get the job done with that team. If you have a more developed lineup, you're going to be able to get there. Shoretrooper probably would make this trivial in terms of putting him in this lineup. You get the pre-taunt, you get the heals. So if you've got a good Shoretrooper, this probably wasn't too much trouble for you. But even without, Royal Guard can get the job done. And of course, there are other lineups depending on who you have geared and modded and all that stuff. But I thought I would share how I did it, the approach that I took, and man, this was really entertaining for me and really exciting for it to come down to the last little shred there of health on Grand Admiral Thrawn. So, hopefully this gives you a little insight into how the battle works. If you're just getting Emperor to 7 stars and you're thinking about how to tackle the Mythic, you'll know what you're getting into, you'll know how to prepare, what you need in terms of to get this done, and what you need to survive in terms of that first wave of the assault. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I really appreciate a thumbs up, or if you didn't like it, you can let me know that too. I'm trying to make some improvements to the channel. I've invested in a new mic, so hopefully there's some improvement in the audio quality. I am recording face cam footage, so if you've seen the face cam, then obviously that worked out. If you're not and you're just hearing my voice, I've got some more tuning to do in terms of how these videos get edited together, and hopefully we'll get there with the face cam edition, and maybe that'll enhance the video quality a little bit, having somebody to see and connect to throughout the video. So, once again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.